The thing about Michelle Obama is she's always negative. Everything she says has got a negative spin on it. She's negative about the country. She's negative about her time as first lady. She's very negative about her husband. I fully believe that they have a bad marriage. She did not marry the right person. It's not a good match. She almost never says anything nice about him. That too, she's now trying to defend as somehow, I don't know, this is like a racial attack when people say this. You tell me if you can figure it out. By the way, she's speaking here to her brother and actress Taraji B. Henson, SOT 25.
Also, as Black women, we are so easily labeled as angry and bitter. And let me tell you some of the most hurtful stuff that I experienced, entering this life of public service at the heights that we entered into was during my husband's presidential campaign. Mm-hmm. And just me telling the truth of who we were, just humanizing him as a man, saying he's a great man, but he's not perfect. Mm-hmm. He's got his foibles and his flaws, trying to humanize him. The first thing that some female journalist said was that I was bitter. I was emasculating him, just by sort of trying to tell the truth about what life is, right? And then you get labeled as angry, because you talk forcefully or passionately about something, even if it's in the context of great joy and pride, that the first label they put on us as Black women.
Okay, so first of all, the fact that this woman, with all of her riches and celebrity trappings, friends, successes, etc., is upset and still bitching about what, quote, some female journalist said one time about her 18 years ago. Like, there's something wrong with her. Like, I guarantee you I've had far more negative press than Michelle Obama. I guarantee you I have, because I have been hated by both the right and the left. And you let it go. You move on. Sometimes you even befriend the people who said the nasty things about you, because life is life. It's short, and the less grievances you can hold on to, the better. That's not how she sees things. And she wants to turn it all into a thing about skin color, about when people see her as, yes, bitter, and yes, often angry. But what I just said is kind of just depressed and dark about most subjects whenever she's talking. Here's Michelle Obama, who's promoting a new book on her special fashion, and sat down with People magazine and said the following in SOT 26.
As women of color, that the way our hair naturally grows out of our head, it's beautiful, but if we struggle to make it look like the standard, that means we are spending thousands of hours and lots of money straightening out what is naturally curly hair, right? And that takes time out of your life. It costs money.
Okay. So what she's saying is she's bitter because society's standards, in her view, don't allow Black women to just walk around with their natural hair. That is bullshit. Black women can walk around with whatever hair they want. Only in Michelle Obama's warped mind do white people not like them unless their hair looks like white hair. And here's the other thing. The nerve of this woman to pretend that Black women are the only women who have to spend a bunch of time getting their natural hair to, quote, conform to these alleged society standards. Because virtually every woman I know, every woman spends a shit ton of time on her hair and wants it to look better than God made it. It's not a Black thing. It's a human thing, and it's especially a woman thing. But she's always reducing everything to race. Michelle Obama has a podcast, and near as I can tell, she devotes some 90% of it to telling us why she can't stand Barack Obama.
Wait, she has a podcast?
She does. No one is watching it. Yeah, literally. I think we are the only ones who watch it.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah, she has a podcast, and all she does is rip on her husband. I mean, truly, every show has got a new update on how she can't stand him. The latest was she cannot stand watching him chew at the dinner table. And like her blood is boiling as she sits across from him like, I want to smack his face for the chewing. She doesn't like motherhood. She's like 0 to 13 were traumatic and horrible. Meanwhile, that's basically all of motherhood. You know, it's like all you have after that is high school. And now here she's out again. Honestly, you can't stop her. Every single episode, there's something more. Here was the latest that just happened yesterday.
We're doing all the college stuff. Making her bed, because whenever they went to camp or somewhere, I said, I'll make your bed once and I'll make it really neat and nice. And then that's it. Got her room all set up, and you could tell Barack was totally clueless. He didn't know where to be. We gave him a lamp from IKEA and said, put it together. Here, you take this box, you put it together. There was nothing to put together, but he was over there with his lamp for like 2 hours. We had to get in this motorcade and leave the baby behind, and to watch her standing at that restaurant, waving goodbye. So I'm crying.
Yes.
Barack gets in the car. We're driving back to the Air Force One in the motorcade. We're a little quiet, and I hear this. That was literally the sign. And I had to look over and be like, and the agents are like, sir, are you okay? And he's like, it's like, just do it. Just cry. Let it go.
Okay. I'm sorry, but she never misses a chance to try to emasculate him or make him look like a doofus. Michelle Obama, every day she's dropped another negativity bomb on us, whether on her podcast or on someone else's. I mean, this audience knows she never says anything positive. It is all complaints. So she goes on another podcast. She's promoting her show, so she's making the rounds. The Diary of a CEO podcast, and actually found a way to bitch and moan about how hard it is to live in the White House.
When you walk through a storm, keep your head held high. Show me. What does it look like?
It's projecting that if you win, which I thought he could and should, he would be somebody that I would want as my president. It was all about, this is going to, our kids are little. We're going to have to move. How do you raise kids in the White House? It's dangerous. As the first Black potential president, we knew there would be death threats. There were just how would we afford it? Because it's expensive to live in the White House. As many people don't know. I mean, much is not covered. You're paying for every bit of food that you eat. You're not paying for housing and the staff in it. But everything, even travel, if you're not traveling with the president, if your kids are coming on a Bright Star, which is the First Lady's plane, we had to pay for their travel to be on the plane. It is an expensive proposition, and you're running for 2 years and not earning an income.
Please help me.
It's that damn Barack Obama. Oh, his smooth ass, slick ass words. He was just always wearing all these good ass suits, looking good, smelling good, looking the part. All friendly and good natured and easy to talk to. Ooh, that motherfucker, I swear it's his fault. If I could, I'd give him a piece of my mind. If I had the time. Ooh, I just want to talk to him. Could somebody just call him for me? Ever since his ass came in, just shoving everything down our throat. And when I said they would likely start blaming Barack Obama soon, they said I was tripping.
There needs to be an award created for Michael Obama, aka Michelle, and it should be labeled the most miserable, privileged person in the world. In the latest rant and complaining of Michelle Obama, because that's all she knows how to do, she decides to tell people that she felt like she couldn't wear her hair naturally because people would criticize it.
I kept my hair straight throughout the White House years so it would not be a distraction or a talking point. I knew there was absolutely no way that the first Black First Lady could show up in braids. Was that Was that a hard choice for you?
You know, it wasn't hard because the job was more important than the statement.
Right.
I wanted to make sure that my work spoke before my clothes or the way I showed up in the world, although I knew that the clothes sent a message.
Yes.
But when you give your husband a fist bump on stage and they accuse you of it being a terrorist fist bump, or it was very clear that
you had to be careful.
That being careful about.
That statement would have been relevant had it not been that Michelle Obama, you have not been first lady for quite some time. And you're going on this TV show to complain about how you couldn't wear your hair in braids while sitting there having straightened hair. You're not the first lady anymore. If you really stood behind your statement that you wrote in your book that you couldn't have your hair natural, why didn't you go on the TV show and interview with your hair in braids or your hair naturally grown out and curly? But you just made that whole ass statement while sitting there with straightened hair. This is the hypocrisy of the left. You're playing victim and claiming that you couldn't wear your hair the way your hair naturally grows out or how you like to style it because you were going to get criticized. But yet you're sitting there again with straightened hair. I mean, the level of hypocrisy from this one is absolutely comical. And the girl that's interviewing her is eating it up and not even calling it out or even recognizing how she's sitting there with straight hair.
Went on to call Trump a con man who is doubling down in this election on, quote, ugly, misogynistic, racist lies. Then she lectured us on the importance of respect, dignity, and empathy. And her husband later got up there and derided, quote, childish nicknames. So nicknames, bad. Calling someone racist and misogynist, good. She went on to paint Republicans' efforts to protect minor children by banning the chopping off of children's healthy body parts and the sterilization of minors in the name of, quote, gender-affirming care as, quote, demonizing our children for being who they are. She was found inspirational by that crowd, which was on its feet in adoration. And that is where Michelle is in her sweet spot. Misleading, attacking Republicans, ripping the foundational ideals of America, and finding herself once again the subject of Democrats' worship.
So for the roughly 99.987% of Americans who have not watched Michelle Obama's newest podcast, you don't have to do so. I'll just report on what the hell's going on over there. Now, in a recent episode, Michelle essentially continued to out her family as she has been doing on this podcast. First kind of outing her husband and his flaws and, the issues she has with him. And then, of course, family dynamics, etc. Well, on the latest episode, she went on speaking of how her kids had decided to distance themselves from their parents. When I say distance, I don't just mean like, oh, they went off to college, just a little physical distance. I'm talking about they didn't want to talk to their parents anymore. As a matter of fact, I believe one, if not both the daughters, changed their name. Yeah. They no longer want to be associated with the Obama name. Now, you may think to yourself, okay, I know that it must have not been easy growing up in the White House and having all that attention around you for 8 years, etc. But what would lead a child to want to remove a name which supposedly is supposed to have so much significance, power, and honor, I would say? Unless, of course, they didn't actually believe that, but instead they saw their name as problematic. So again, this is just my own personal opinion, but I believe that there are things that were happening behind closed doors, things that these young ladies were exposed to that they want nothing to do with. Because there have been a lot of kids that have gone in and out of the White House, some for 4 years, some for 8. And I've not heard of any changing their last name. Most of them would use their last name. You know what I mean? But this one, it's a little sketch. It's a little sketch.
And listen, the Obamas are yesterday's news. No one cares about them anymore. They did everything in their power to defeat Trump both times, and they lost. Michelle Obama is going to be my focus We'll get to Barack Obama too, but let's just start with Michelle. She was the star.
Did Megyn Kelly just went off the rails on live TV, taking direct aim at Michelle Obama and exposing her like never before? The internet is on fire with reactions, debates, and heated discussions about what went down. But what exactly did she say? Was this a no-holds-barred takedown, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? As the clips circulate and opinions fly, some are calling Kelly's remarks a brutal truth bomb, while others argue it's just another case of media sensationalism. Michelle Obama has long been a polarizing figure, admired by millions and scrutinized just as intensely. And when a bold personality like Megyn Kelly steps into the conversation, things are bound to get explosive. We'll be diving into exactly what was said, why it's making headlines, and how people from all sides are reacting. From political pundits to everyday social media users, the response has been nothing short of intense. Is this a career-defining moment for Megyn Kelly, a political firestorm, or just another viral controversy in the world of media? Let's break it all down. The role of the Obamas in the DNC in Chicago, August 2024. The Democratic National Convention was in full swing, yet something about it felt different. The energy was tense, the stakes were higher than ever, and behind the polished speeches and coordinated messaging, one thing was undeniable. The Democratic Party was in crisis mode. Then, Michelle Obama stepped onto the stage. But was this truly the defining moment the Democrats needed? Or was it just another carefully scripted political performance? More importantly, was Michelle Obama's speech genuinely meant to inspire hope? Or was she subtly signaling her party's own failures? And why did Megyn Kelly's reaction to this speech expose something the mainstream media refuses to acknowledge? The DNC was always set to be a defining moment for the Democratic Party. Joe Biden had stepped down, not retired, not completed his term. Stepped down. After months of weak polling and visible struggles on the campaign trail, the sitting president of the United States was gone. His departure wasn't officially framed as a failure. The narrative carefully painted it as a
I've seen so many videos this lady, Megyn Kelly, has been doing about the Obama's family, especially the wives. Please, my friends, my American friends, tell me what you think about it. Because me, genuinely, I think this woman might be in love with Obama himself, right? Because the obsession is out of this world. What? Like, she's a podcaster, the Megyn Kelly. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it very well. Megyn, M-E-G-Y-N, Kelly. Is a podcast. She has a podcast, and most of the times, almost everything she has said, like 80% of whatever she talks about is just about Michelle Obama. Is that she's talking about the woman's hair, or the woman's character, or the woman's husband, or the woman's children? And I'm like, please, can you tell me what happened? Was she Obama's ex-girlfriend? Please tell me. Now, I want to hear from you. I'm not going to research about it, right? Tell me why she has decided she doesn't like this family. I understand that she doesn't like black people, right? But this particular one, she singled out this family, and she's always calling them out. It's wide and it's totally disrespectful. What do you think they've done to her? Let me see in the comments. I'll be reading anyways, because I've never seen someone who hates somebody else the way she does. And this woman doesn't even care about you. Yeah, Michelle, probably she doesn't even know you. What is it? What's the obsession for? You don't like her hair. You don't like how she talks. You don't like how she deals with the family. Oh, she hates her husband. Oh, she doesn't want her children to bear the name. A lot. Madam, can you just shut up your mouth? It's crazy. Please let me hear your thoughts in the comments. Do not forget, it's Global Gist BJ. Kindly subscribe, like, and share this video. I'll be back. I'll see you later. Bye, guys.